Will Philip's story's marriage on Days of Our Lives? This week, fans are in for a stunning twist that could change the course of several relationships forever, especially the strained and fragile bond between Xander and Sarah. At the center of this unfolding drama is Philip, who awakens from his coma not with revenge, but with a story, a lie, that may give his cousin Xander a second chance not only at freedom but at love. Let's walk through this carefully. A moment of truth, and a lie that changes everything. Philip, lying unconscious in his hospital bed after being brutally beaten, suddenly opens his eyes. It's the moment everyone has been dreading, or hoping for, depending on where they stand. Inside the hospital room, we have Xander, Sarah, and Kate. Tension crackles in the air like static before a storm. Xander looks as if he's about to flee or confess, or worse, perhaps all three. Sarah's eyes are wide with fear, and Kate is watching everything like a hawk, one hand practically on speed dial to the nearest police officer. When Philip opens his eyes, what will he say? The obvious truth, that it was Xander who attacked him in a fit of rage and desperation, would land Xander in prison. Not only that, it would destroy any hope he has of rebuilding his relationship with Sarah. It would also trigger a legal nightmare, including a bitter and painful custody battle over baby Victoria. But to everyone's surprise, Philip does not tell the truth. Instead, he makes a decision that changes everything. He lies. He says that Xander didn't attack him. Instead, he claims a stranger, a robber, broke into his hotel room and assaulted him. It's a story as weak as a soap opera alibi ever gets, but in Salem, sometimes a weak lie is enough to hold off the law. Why would Philip lie? There are layers to Philip's motives. On the surface, it may look like an act of compassion or guilt. After all, spoilers suggest that Philip blames himself for the situation. He feels responsible for lying to Xander in the past, cheating him out of his inheritance, and stirring up the bitterness that drove Xander to the edge. There's also the possibility that Philip regrets the way his actions have hurt Sarah, putting her in the impossible position of having to choose between her love for Xander and her loyalty to her family. But let's not forget that this lie also helps Philip save face, avoid a prolonged investigation, and keep family scandals out of the public eye. Victor would no doubt be pleased to see this whole mess swept under the rug. Salem's justice system isn't exactly ironclad, and if Philip refuses to press charges or provide evidence, the authorities' hands may be tied. In this twisted, deeply personal way, Philip's silence is the key that could unlock Xander's future. Sarah and Maggie shut the door on Xander while Philip's lie may clear Xander legally. It doesn't wipe away the damage in his personal life. Sarah and her mother, Maggie, have kicked Xander out of the Kiriakis' mansion. He didn't fight it. He didn't argue. He just left, knowing full well he had lost not only his home, but his place in the family. Right now, he's unwelcome in their eyes. Not just because of what he did, but because of who he's become again. Xander's darkest tendencies, violence, desperation, impulsiveness, have re-emerged, and Sarah sees the man she tried so hard to change slipping back into his old ways. She may still love him, but she's not sure she can trust him, let alone raise a child with him. And Maggie? She's even less forgiving. She stands between her daughter and danger, and right now, Xander is the danger. Why killing Philip would have killed everything? Let's not ignore the cold truth here. Xander may have seriously considered killing Philip to protect himself. If Philip hadn't woken up when he did, Xander might have gone through with it. He knew that if Philip told the truth, he'd go to prison and likely lose custody of Victoria. That fear pushed him to the edge. But Philip did wake up, and Xander hesitated. Was it a change of heart, or just bad timing? Either way, he didn't go through with it. Still, the fact that he even considered murder will haunt him, and it might haunt Sarah too. Had he killed Philip, it would have sealed his fate, legally and emotionally. It would have ended any shot he had at winning back his family. Instead, Phillips' lie gives him a lifeline, but it's a fragile one. Can this lie save Xander and Sarah's marriage? That's the question everyone is asking. Spoilers suggest that Philip is not done playing the role of unlikely savior. He doesn't just lie to keep Xander out of jail, he actively tries to make amends. He wants to fix what he broke. He wants to help mend Sarah and Xander's fractured marriage, perhaps out of guilt, perhaps out of a newfound sense of brotherly loyalty. If Philip steps in as a peacemaker and ally, it could shift the balance dramatically. He knows that custody of Victoria is on the line, and if he can ease the tension between Sarah and Xander, maybe, just maybe, they won't have to go to war in court. Sarah's love for Xander hasn't vanished. It's buried beneath anger and fear, but it's still there. Philip's intervention might be enough to unearth it, if Xander can prove he's changed and truly regrets the path he was heading down. New alliances, new beginnings. As the dust begins to settle, new alliances are forming in Salem. Philip's unexpected move could mark the start of a new era, one where enemies become allies, and grudges are put aside in favor of peace. But trust, once broken, is not easily rebuilt. Can Xander prove to Sarah that he's still the man she fell in love with? Can Philip and Xander learn to work together, rather than tear each other apart? And can Maggie ever forgive the man who nearly tore her family in two? There are no easy answers. But in Salem, nothing is ever simple, and anything is possible. A week of love, legacy, and new beginnings on Days of Our Lives. June 16 to 20, 2025. As another summer begins in Salem, Days of Our Lives brings viewers a rich and heartfelt week of episodes that blend nostalgia, celebration, emotional reunions, and major life transitions. Let's take a closer look at what's coming up each day, and why every episode this week is one to savor. Monday, June 16, 2025, episode number 15140. A tribute to a legend, the week opens on a deeply emotional note as Salem comes together to honor the life and legacy of Steve Johnson, affectionately known to generations of fans as Patch. This special episode marks the 40th anniversary of the death of Stephen Nichols' iconic character, and it promises to be a moving tribute to both the actor and the unforgettable role he played. In this episode, viewers will see a beautifully woven series of flashbacks and heartfelt conversations as friends and family gather to reminisce about Steve's life, his legendary love story with Kayla, and his fearless devotion to protecting his family and friends. Expect appearances from familiar faces and deeply emotional performances as characters share personal stories about Steve's bravery, humor, and signature eye patch. Kayla, of course, will take center stage, reflecting on the love they shared and the family they built. Their children, Stephanie and Joey, will join her in remembering the man who meant so much to them. For longtime viewers, this episode is not just a tribute to Steve but a celebration of the enduring spirit of Days of Our Lives. It reminds us that even though characters may pass on, their impact lives forever in the hearts of those they touched, and in the homes of millions who watched. Tuesday, June 17, 2025, episode number 15141, Proposals and Pleas. After Monday's touching memorial, Tuesday brings fresh storylines to the forefront, highlighting the next generation of Salemites who are navigating love, ambition, and unexpected partnerships. Gabby makes a surprising proposal to Javi. While details of the proposal are under wraps, fans can expect something bold and full of the fire that Gabby always brings to the screen. Whether it's a business venture, a romantic leap, or a move designed to shake up the power dynamics in Salem, this moment promises to push Gabby and Javi's relationship to the next level. Meanwhile, in a more unexpected twist, Doug III, grandson of the legendary Doug Williams, approaches Leo for help. The pairing of Doug III and Leo is certainly unusual, which makes it all the more intriguing. What could Doug possibly need from the eccentric and flamboyant Leo Stark? Is it emotional advice, a cover-up, or something far more complicated? One thing is certain, Leo's involvement usually means drama is close behind. Wednesday, June 18, 2025, episode number 15142, Hope Renewed. In a week already full of emotion, Wednesday brings a long-awaited moment of joy as Bo and Hope, one of Days of Our Lives' most iconic couples, make plans for the future. After years of obstacles, separations, tragedies, and rebirths, Bo and Hope are finally ready to look forward rather than back. In this touching episode, they sit down together and talk honestly about what comes next. Will they renew their vows? Move away from the chaos of Salem? Or perhaps embrace a quieter life with family and each other at the center? Longtime fans will be thrilled to see Bo and Hope sharing screen time in a meaningful way. Filled with the kind of deep affection and mature love that only years of struggle and reunion can create. Their future is still unwritten, but for once, they get to write it together. Thursday, June 19, 2025, episode number 15143. The Lie Lives On. This episode sees the fallout continue from one of the most controversial decisions of the year, Phillips' decision to lie about who attacked him. Instead of revealing that it was his cousin Xander who nearly beat him to death, Philip continues to stick to the false story he gave the police, that it was a random robber who entered his hotel room. Why is Philip keeping up the charade? Is he protecting family? Is it guilt over his own past actions? Cheating Xander out of his inheritance, lying to Sarah, and generally stirring the pot within the Kiriakis family? Or does he have a deeper game in play? As Belle, Kate, and other close family members grow more suspicious, the tension rises. Everyone can see the cracks in Philip's story, but no one can force him to speak the truth. With Xander still in danger of losing custody of Victoria, the consequences of this lie grow heavier by the day. Philip may believe he's doing the right thing, or at least the strategic thing, but Days of Our Lives fans know that lies in Salem have a way of exploding at the worst possible time. Friday, June 20, 2025, episode number 15144, The Last Bell. The week concludes with a poignant and joyful goodbye to childhood for a group of young characters as Holly, Tate, Aaron, and Sophia share their final moments as high school students. This generation, raised in the drama of Salem's legendary families, is stepping into adulthood, and Friday's episode celebrates their friendships, their memories, and their hopes for the future. Viewers will see laughter, tears, and perhaps a few surprises as the teens prepare for the next chapter of their lives. Will new romances blossom? Will old ones end? What dreams will each of them pursue beyond the classroom? And how will their parents, who have watched them grow up through trauma, heartbreak, and triumph, handle this emotional milestone? This episode is designed to give fans a sense of renewal and hope. It's not just the end of high school. It's the beginning of new stories, new conflicts, and perhaps, new legacies that will shape Days of Our Lives for years to come. In summary, a week of emotional highs and powerful transitions from heartfelt remembrance to future dreams. This week of Days of Our Lives is a beautiful blend of the past, present, and future. Older viewers, those who've watched Bo and Hope fall in love, who remember Steve and Kayla's first kiss, and who have cheered or cried for Gabby and Philip, will find this week especially meaningful. There are no explosions, no major disasters, just what Days does best, storytelling rooted in love, family, honor, and redemption. These are the stories that stay with us, the ones that feel like home. So grab your tea or coffee, settle in, and don't miss a single episode this week. Salem is waiting, and this time, it's got something truly special to share.